Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and thanks for waking up with The Chase. I am Troy LeCastro alongside my co-host, David Yarger.
How's it going this morning, Troy?
It's good. Good to be back at the desk with you. It was a good weekend, but it felt like it went by like way too quick.
I agree. It was a quick weekend, but where else would you rather be Monday than Dave and Adams live with The Chase?
I thought you were going Marv Levy, but you did a little skirt and you put your own flavor and your own twist on it.
Yes.
But you know what? Nothing to get us going like a little motivation, right? To start our Monday.
I agree. Nothing hits home better than a quote of the day to start your morning. You know what they say? Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Tony Robbins.
Like, so deep.
End of show.
So, yeah, just, you know what? Quote, we're out. Thanks for joining us. That's it. We're done. What a great quote, though. I mean, that hits home.
It's something I look forward to every single morning.
We do enjoy the quote of the day, and we'll probably be bringing you the quote of the day just about every day that we're live.
Yep.
You know?
As long as I'm here, quote of the day is coming.
That's what I like to hear. All right, so happy belated Father's Day to everybody who does celebrate. David and I were talking before we came on the air here about our favorite, some of our favorite father-son duos in all of sports, not just pigeonhole into one sport. So I'd like to go a little back and forth just for a couple minutes here or a minute or two and just share, you know, what are some of your top, like who pops out to you when you think father-son duos?
So immediately, just because current times, I was thinking the Guerreros, Vlad Jr., Vlad Sr. That was the one that stood out to me. After doing a little bit of research, I was like, wow, there's a ton of father-son duos in professional sports history. You have the Mannings, who, like, I didn't even think of. Archie Manning, Peyton Manning, and Eli Manning.
Yeah.
And, well, Cooper Manning, but that's like family tree. Anyways.
No, Coop deserves some love.
Yeah.
We got to give it to him.
Then you got Barry and Bobby Bonds.
Yep.
And then a personal favorite, Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Woo! Raise hail, praise Dale.
Exactly. But those are just a couple, just to name. I mean,
yeah.
My favorite, though, is probably the Vlad Guerrero Sr. and Jr., though.
I tried to go with some deeper cuts. Cecil and Prince Fielder.
Yes.
Right?
Prince Fielder was hitting dingers at Tiger Stadium at like 12 years old. I remember that one.
You know what? He was a kid that never changed. Like, the way he looked when he was 12 is the same as he looked when he was 20-something in the bigs, honestly. I used to love Prince Fielder, though, because I know, like, him and even Miguel Cabrera were notorious where I loved when they would go over and, like, eat snacks right out of people's hands. And
take, like, a nacho from a kid or something.
Yeah, just take a nacho from him. Another one that I think nobody thinks of is Steve Tasker and Luke Tasker.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
For those of you who don't know, Luke Tasker maybe still is. I apologize. I didn't research too deep. He was a wide receiver, though, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the CFL. Go Ticats, obviously.
Another one I just thought of, Don Beebe and Chad Beebe.
I did. That's a good one.
Beebe was with Chad Beebe was with the Vikings, I believe. And obviously Don Beebe was like a historic wide receiver, special teamer for the Bills. So, like, that's pretty sweet.
Now, before we move on, I may have missed you mention it, but did you mention Griffey Jr. and Sr.?
No, I didn't. How did I forget that one?
I was going to say, we can't miss that one. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, just Griffey Jr. being my favorite baseball player of all time, that's the one for me.
Yeah.
In fact, I watched a clip of 1990 when they were playing together on the Mariners. And Griffey...
He stole the ball.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
Griffey comes all the way from center field. His dad's got the routine fly ball above him. And Griffey Jr. just comes in, scoops it from him.
Yeah, Senior said that he grounded him after that. I remember seeing an interview about that one. And he was laughing. He was like, yeah, Ken got grounded after that play. So...
Of course, and rightfully so. How dare he do that to his father? He was camped right underneath it.
Hey, honestly, imagine just sitting at like their Thanksgiving table and like that is probably brought up every single year.
Oh, it has to be. That's always a point of contention at the dinner table. It has to be.
Always.
Good morning, everyone, too. We see you in the Twitch chat here. Just wanted to give a shout out. Good morning to you guys. Moosey, Slim Jim Timbits, of course, Hobo Fuzz. Always great to see you guys. So I think we're going to get into what's going on around the hobby. So late last week, eBay announced the launch of its new live shopping platform, eBay Live. eBay Live will give hobbyists a shopping platform with a new way to browse and buy products in a live, interactive environment. The new beta technology combines entertainment with instant purchasing on one of the world's largest marketplaces. Trading card enthusiast DJ Ski will host the first series, offering a, quote, curated selection of highly coveted and rare trading cards from top eBay seller Bleecker Trading. It begins June 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Jess Minio of Bleecker will showcase collectibles including a 1995 Topps Finest Michael Jordan M1 red bordered refractor PSA 9 mint and a 1998 Kobe Bryant Skybox that's Jam PSA 10. eBay is inviting users to stream with them as they go live at the National in Atlantic City later in July. Yesterday, Upper Deck announced the grand prize winner of its Father's Day contest. Instagram user Minner Arena Fan Cave has won an autographed Wayne Gretzky UDA memorabilia piece that will be valued at $3,000, along with a prize pack. Minner posted his reaction to winning on Instagram, saying, quote, "Wow, thanks so much, Upper Deck Sports, for picking me and my daughter as the grand prize Father's Day winner. I can't wait to get that framed Gretzky photo." And as I was reading that, we showed on the screen there, that was their submission to the contest. His daughter took us around his fan cave, huge St. Louis Blues fan. You can obviously see there. You're seeing it on the screen right now. That's a thing of beauty.
That's a pretty impressive man cave. I'm not gonna lie. I've been in an Ohio State alum and fans man cave before, and it was pretty impressive. But that one, I believe that one's got to beat by far. That's one of the better ones I've ever seen.
Well, I love how it looks like the whole arena. I mean, you got the ice there. The boards are all set up. It literally got the door leading you onto the ice, basically.
Yeah, it's like an ice rink in your house. Sounds like a television show I watch from time to time called Trailer Park Boys. You know.
Oh, you're dropping Trailer Park Boys on here? I'm sure people in the chat know about Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
If they don't, they should. Let's be honest.
It's a quality view.
But I did notice, I was keeping my eyes open and I was looking in the background that he did actually have a Gretzky jersey.
He did, yeah.
And I think I saw Grant Fuhr as well. Obviously, two Edmonton Oiler greats in their time in the 80s, winning all those cups. But people forget that. I think Grant was there a few years, but I think Gretzky played, what, half a season?
Gretzky
cup of coffee there, as we like to say?
Gretzky did have a little bit of time with the Blues, I remember. Because I saw a post one day, it was like best athletes in like the most random jerseys, and that was one of them, him in a St. Louis Blues jersey. I remember it's very weird to see him in a Blues jersey.
If I'm not mistaken, too, it was his transition after LA before New York, I think. I think that's how it went.
I can't really remember off the top of my head.
I always want to point those out, though, because I love those jerseys, the ones that were like blue up top and then had like the red and yellow stripes going across the bottom. Yeah. One of my favorite vintage jerseys. And I know that St. Louis did bring that back in 2021. Was it last season when they did all the reverse retros?
Yeah, it was like a alternate jersey or something.
Yeah, and they did the red. So, like, in my opinion, very cool to see the new guys getting to wear some old school flair there, because those jerseys, in my opinion, just absolutely unmatched.
I agree.
So next up, last week, Flawless Football exploded onto the scene with West Coast Base Breakers Mojobreak pulling an absolute banger on release day. Merely hours into the product going live, the Mac Jones Shield 1/1 auto surfaced. We actually have the reaction from that being pulled, and I gotta say I can't get enough of this. So Tyler, if you could roll that, please.
All right, we're going for it. Oh my God! One of one. Shield Auto Mac Jones. Boom! It's over.
I'm not kidding you when I say that.
Boom.
It honestly makes me laugh every time.
It gets me pumped up and gets me to laugh every single time.
it gets me going. And honestly, that we shortened it down a little bit just for time purpose. So
The clip goes on.
I was gonna say go to Mojo, go to their YouTube page and seek out that full clip because it'll get you going. It'll get you fired up. I can't stop watching it.
It's over. Boom.
Boom. It's over. And just that's not making fun of you. That is a tribute. That was a tribute right there. Hopefully I did it justice, honestly. So, really nice part about that is we got a chance to talk to Mojobreak CEO Doug Caskey about this poll. So, if you recall, last week we talked about 2021 flawless football drop-in, and boy, let me tell you, it has gotten out of hand already. The hits have been crazy, and one we specifically want to talk about is the one-of-one Mac Jones Shield Auto. That's it, already out of the product, but there's so many more Shield Autos, but we got to give kudos to our mans here from Mojobreak joining us right now live via Zoom. It is CEO Doug Caskey. Doug, what's going on?
Not much, man. With the Mac Jones pull on Wednesday and then the Warriors winning the championship, it's been a great week. And it was a crazy flawless release day. That was in our very first case. So it was definitely unexpected. And the videos floating around of Dan running around the office celebrating. And it was a fantastic moment. And more importantly, a fantastic moment for our customer who's going to be getting the card.
I don't even want to admit to how many times I have watched Dan's reaction already, but that thing has me in tears. It is so...
Well, luckily we have our security cameras, so we were able to get that footage in with all the footage of it getting pulled. So he claims to be the fastest breaker. He runs a 7-minute mile currently, so he thinks he actually could have ran faster.
I think, are we going to have to see, we might have to see a Mojobreak 40-yard dash competition out there.
Yeah, he's putting the challenge out there for any other breaker who wants to see if they're the fastest breaker in a running in a 40.
Little Mojobreak's NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Get
there
the
you
40.
go. There you go.
Listen.
Unfortunately, I may look like Darren Ravel, so you'd probably want to focus on Dan.
That's okay. I mean, I would argue that I look like William the Refrigerator Perry, but I'll tell you right now, I think I can run. I might have Dan. We might have to do something.
Maybe.
We might have to do it. We've already actually, Chris Keller from Top Shelf wants to get in on it. Maybe we have some kind of runoff, a runoff at the National. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh boy, I better
here's
start training.
Here's what I'll say: don't threaten me with a good time.
For sure,
because that sounds like a blast. You hear it here first, folks. We're signing it. Runoff at the National.
Yep.
Be there.
Maybe we can get some giveaways involved and make it a really fun event for everybody that watches.
See, that's what it's all about in the breaking community, if you ask me.
For sure.
So I want to get to the card though, and I see actually we were speaking before we started recording, and I forgot that I see that you had the Mac Jones on display there.
Yes, in the flesh.
So it was your first case, which I think is insane because literally I remember we do the show. I got off the show, and right after, I literally went on Twitter and I see, boom, Mac Jones Shield 101. And I was like,
yep,
it was the first thing.
No way. It was like the first thing that popped up.
Yeah, it was actually the second briefcase of the first case. The briefcase, the first briefcase had a Jalen Waddle, and I was like, oh man, and for a moment I'm all, is this how Flawless is going to be? We're going to have, Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle inside on every case. But then, we take over Dan takes over on the second, because that's what we do. We've been doing this for 12 years where we share each break that we're doing. And so he gets the second briefcase, and, I get the phone out to film, and I'm standing right behind him, and he, pops that thing open, and there it was. And I saw the ink at the beginning, so I knew it was Mac Jones, and then it took me a second to realize that, wow, that is the 101 shield of Mac Jones that's sitting right there in front of us. So
right.
As you can see on the video, the raw emotion from both of us was just unbelievable.
Now, I got to ask, you talked a little bit about, your reaction right from the start. After time has gone on, what can you say about this pull? Like, what are your thoughts right now as you think back to when it happened?
That I'm happy that it's actually been a Patriot collector of ours for the whole year. He's been chasing Mac all year. So this was, the epitome of what you can get with the Patriots. And, it definitely ranks up there in probably the top 20 of our polls for sure. It's crazy. It was just it was a great moment, to have with our customers in the chat, and, me filming it with the phone. That's the great thing about Flawless is you can't really film overhead with Prism all the time because, you'd be filming all day long. But, with Flawless, you can kind of grab that phone shot right at the beginning because that the big hit's going to be in the inside.
Yeah, perfect. So you mentioned that the gentleman who the card is going to is a Patriots collector.
Yep.
So longtime customer, you guys, you want to give him a little shout out? I mean, what was his reaction in the chat? Like, could you see that live?
He did not react in the chat, so I didn't think he was there. He actually said he wishes he recorded it because he was running just like Dan. So we would have a great viral video of him running and Dan running maybe side by side, and we could have started this runoff that we were talking about. But yeah, his name's Jeremy. He's actually going to be flying out here. And we're going to film a podcast with him to get his take on it as well. So it'll be in the next few weeks. But yeah, he's super stoked. He's a Patriot fan, so he's torn on what to do with the card. But as of right now, because I know I have everybody in the world hitting me up if this guy's going to sell it, and right now he's holding it.
So, not to put you on the spot, but as someone who is in your position, and knowing Jeremy from this break and past breaks, what is your advice to him? What advice do you think you'd give on his position on the card, whether to sell it or maybe hold on to it and, wait a little bit?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm a Niner fan, so if I pulled a Trey Lance, it'd be a hard, Trey Lance of this nature, the one-on-one shield Trey Lance. It would definitely be hard for me to want to sell it. But as a non-Patriot collector, I believe I would sell it. And probably pick up a nice Brady contenders and then have some leftover cash after that. That's what I would do personally. I think the hype with Flawless right now, there's no chance he gets injured right now, unless he falls down some stairs. But, we start off the preseason or something. There's definitely, I'm not saying a high risk, but there's a risk, that something happens and then your card gets devalued. But, that's the beauty of the hobby is that there is people that collect and want to keep the cards. And that's what he seems like at the moment.
I think I would be the same exact way, like you just said, like being a Bills fan. If I ever pulled like a big Allen card or whatever, I think I'm hanging on to it. I mean, him being a Patriot fan, I could 100% see him hanging on to the Mac Jones because like that's their guy now.
Yeah. And for Jeremy's sake, I really hope that he doesn't fall victim to a Collins situation where, he falls and slips on a bath mat.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, and that's the thing, it's definitely a scenario where it's like you're watching every move. I mean, at least with Josh Allen, if you were to pull it now, that there's at least some pedigree under his belt, some playoff games and some success. I mean, Mac Jones had one season so far, so
right.
It's a little more riskier than Josh Allen, in my opinion.
Yeah, small sample size for sure. So I think you're correct in the timing, and obviously Flawless being we just saw basketball. The triple logo man LeBron just got pulled. So these shield autos obviously very, very sought after. Did you happen to see? Not long after you guys pulled the Mac, the T-Law came out as well.
The T-Law shield like this came out as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not see that yet.
First time. Okay, so we got to break that news to you.
There you go. Yeah. I've been looking for it too, because we've been, people have been asking, well, is this, there's an argument to be made of Mac Jones or T Law, and you can make an argument for both sides. But, Mac Jones initially with the, the record that he had last year, people were saying that's the best card in the product that this particular one is. But you can make an argument that that's a close second, if not maybe a possible first, being first overall, having that game against the Colts last year, right to end the season. And, it's a possibility that could be number one as well.
So I know you had something about, you wanted to ask about like the break itself.
Oh, yeah. So I had a couple things, but
sure.
You said that this Mac Jones is like in your top 20. If you possibly can, take us through the memory bank. What is like your top pull then in this case?
We've pulled two different LeBron logo mans, a flawless one, which was his first Laker game used. We pulled the Luka number /5 patch, the one that's like similar to the one that just sold for over $1 million. We pulled the black Trae Young Prism 101, the true black Prism 101. So those stick out right away. I mean, maybe I was being, modest when I said 20. I mean, I was being a little overzealous with 20. Maybe it's a top 10, but probably definitely the number one of value out of the gate. Because when we pulled those ones, it was release day, and this was in for 18-19. So, the guy probably sold it for a lot less than $1 million, or if he did. And then the black Trae Young, I think initially sold for like 18 grand, but then resold for 500 grand. So probably out of the gate, this is number one value wise, perceived value right out of the gate.
Gotcha. And now, since you guys pulled that Mac Jones 101, have there been any big pulls since that one?
What was crazy was our first 7 cases all had Mac Jones autos in it. It was insane. And start the conspiracy theory, but we had the number to 2 cleat Mac Jones. We had the true RPA number to 20 Mac Jones. We've had 2 different Bledsoe duels with Mac Jones. Last night we hit Trevor Lawrence true RPA, but no, nothing has obviously came close to this, but there's been some great hits. It's surprising how many big hits have came out of it, because flawless, you can go through a few cases and get like the Jalen Waddles or the Devontae Smiths and stuff like that, and not really have those major guys. And it seems like they've done a pretty good job of packing out, cases and having major guys in there, whether it be like a patch 101 of Fields, utilizing those and putting them in cases. So it's been a really good run so far.
So it seems like it was a nice day for your Patriots collector there.
Yeah, he actually had him in the first 3. So he got the Mac Jones Bledsoe duel, and then he got just a Mac Jones inside auto number to 15 or whatever. So he did pretty well for the first 3 cases.
Yeah, shout out Jeremy there for just absolutely killing it.
For sure. I have a quick questions for you and maybe your guys as listeners. I don't know if the National Treasures Shield auto of Mac Jones has been pulled, but if so, which one's bigger?
My personal opinion, I think flawless. I think flawless, in my opinion, has become that top shelf premier product in all of collecting, if I'm being honest, just because the presentation of it, from the briefcase to you got cards with gems in them, and just the clean look, not too busy. It's just a very classy, clean look to it. And I mean, I just think when you pull that, it's unmatched, and that's not taking anything away from National Treasures at all. National Treasures obviously still delivers too. Great presentation in like the cigar box looking type thing, but flawless is just there's some grandeur, like some pomp and circumstance behind it, I feel.
Sure. Yeah, I'm torn because I'm an old school head, and we didn't have flawless in 2010, so we had National Treasures. So I tend to think the National Treasures might go for more. And like I said, I don't know if it's been pulled yet. It might still be out there, or maybe I missed it. But for whatever reason, and I think we are starting to see a changing of the guard with flawless, where NT was king. But I think with all the hype behind like the triple logo man and what's coming out with this, I think it's become even, and that's why it's a good debate, because I think, it's almost become even, and it's split. And it's like, whether it's 3 or 4 years ago, flawless wasn't even close to National Treasures in value. for the RPAs, that is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's actually, you know what? I feel like that's almost a good thing to hang on to. Maybe that's the podcast we could do, a little debating.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
A little this or that,
Stimulate some minds out there to debate and comment,
That's what we're out here to do. We're out here to have fun, educate, a little stimulation of the mind.
Sure.
So I had one little question to wrap it up, unless David had another question for you. But so this particular break, I know you said Jeremy was in the first three. How was this particular break structured?
This was a pick your team style. So to be transparent, he paid $2,000 for the Patriots. And one thing we've done since day one to mention is, we post PYTs. We don't let anybody know. So Jeremy must have been refreshing, because I posted this like 2 weeks ago without any notice, because, we want to give everybody around the world, because we have customers in Taiwan, we have customers in Indonesia. We want to give everybody a chance at finding that first and being able to grab that team. So I've had many people try to bribe me, say, hey, I'll buy 20 of them up front. I'll buy 20 Patriot spots. More so probably with the Pelicans years with Zion, where they're like, hey, I'll give you all this money up front. I want the Zion first. I was like, hey, it's not fair. You have to find it on the website. You have to be first to know. Nobody knows in advance. So Jeremy went on there. I posted the first 2 cases. He grabbed them. And then I think I posted the third one about 3 days later, and he must have been on it as well. So just sitting there refreshing.
Classic. It's the classic game of just refresh. So good
right.
for Jeremy.
So, I mean, yeah, 2000. And what we try to do is we try to price them a little bit more competitive early, because people are going to be spending, the money early, and they're going to have to wait for the product to come out. So we want to give them an incentive to, kind of be the first to go on the site and grab those top tier teams.
That's great. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
He answered all my questions perfectly. So
Okay. One last thing before you go, Doug, where can we find you guys?
Mojobreak.com is our site, the one that we've had for over 12 years. We're doing breaks on YouTube 7 days a week. We also have a podcast. Just search Mojobreak on any of your podcast networks. Mojobreak_com on Twitter and Instagram.
Great. Well, Doug, once again, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your morning to join us. Love the setup you guys got for the podcast as well. And we look forward to seeing you at the National. Now, go have some breakfast and enjoy the rest of your day.
We've been a big DA Card World fan since day one. Adam is a great guy, and, love the structure on the website with you guys with the price. Like, you can buy and get either a percentage off or get like free gifts and stuff. So honored to be on your guys' show, and excited for more episodes.
Yeah, the feeling is definitely mutual. I can give you that much for sure. So thanks again, and we can't wait to see you at the National.
Absolutely. Thanks again, guys.
What a great guy Doug was. First time I've ever had a chance to talk to him, but I loved talking to him.
Yeah, that was a fun interview. He was chill, down to earth, and it just felt like 3 guys hanging out, having a conversation.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole idea behind this show. Is like I definitely want to make it feel like we're just kind of hanging out, talking sports cards and sports and just everything about the hobby. So Doug really felt that way. He made me feel super welcome. So I'm looking forward to seeing him at the National, and hopefully the rest of the Mojo crew, and being able to talk to them, hang out with them, and hopefully get on their podcast, and maybe we'll get them on again too, and have some fun.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see them at National too. So
yeah, it'll be nice to actually see these people in the flesh, right?
Right.
Like Zoom is great, it's a great tool to connect people like that, but obviously nothing better than really being able to actually do it in person. So, getting into our next thing here, quick story. Friday night comes around, I'm hanging out. My buddy James, he is a Mets fan, so we happen to be watching the Mets game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually doing that on a Friday night by myself. I'm not going out of my way to watch the Mets game, right? And I'm sitting there, and something really piqued my interest. So Keith Hernandez, as you know, famed Seinfeld actor, but also, a New York Met great, but more so on the Seinfeld side of things. He and the guys from the SNY broadcast were actually opening up some packs. And I was like, as soon as I saw that, I go, put it on the show. So after jumping out to a 10-3 lead late in Friday night's game, that's when the broadcast team decided, hey, let's rip some packs of 2022 Series 1 baseball for Topps. So that was a lot of fun to watch. It almost felt nostalgic for them, like listening to them. They sounded like little kids when they were opening them.
And it's really cool. Like now, the last 2 Mondays, we've had clips of baseball players talking about collecting or ripping cards. Like Mike Trout, we had the clip last Monday of him collecting. I actually just saw something on Instagram before the show. Someone posted about how he's been ordering cards. I think it was like a Trout and a Griffey like dual
Yeah.
card. And now this with Keith Hernandez in the SNY booth. I mean, it's just showing you how big this hobby is, and just keeps on growing.
I'll tell you right now, being in the hobby, years and years ago, and then coming back to the hobby, it's amazing how much it has grown over time and where it's at now. I mean, you literally have, celebrities, we'll call them, you have these athletes, you have these celebrities that are also collecting. So it's almost, I feel like you can have your opinion on it. In some way people may think it's whatever for the hobby, but it feels like it's almost bridging that gap where you notice like you and we're just the common man who's collecting cards, hanging out with friends, trying to rip packs or whatever, or just, shooting the breeze on the hobby. But then again, you see that there's these people that are the athletes that we collect on the cardboard are also doing this. And, it shows that human side of people where they have people that they want to collect,
Right.
and they're fans too.
It was cool for Mike Trout to, say, hey, I'm really doing this, collecting myself. So once my kid gets older, I could pass these down to him, and like his kid will have them. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool that it's kind of a family connection too for him.
And that's a big part of the hobby is, having that culture built around it with family and passing it on from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a couple of the people that we've interviewed, they've talked about how, they had cards passed down to them, or they've passed cards down to family. So I feel like, as I learn more about the hobby and everything, I see a lot of, intertwine with family and the hobby.
A lot of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention, don't forget that 2022 Top Series 1 Baseball is available right now on dacardworld.com. You can find that. Maybe grab some boxes, grab some packs, and you can have some fun with your family.
Agreed.
All right, next on the agenda here, we want to talk about Riley Green. So the 2019 draftee had got called up over the weekend to help the struggling Tigers. Checked out his stats in AAA in 15 games with Toledo. This season, he was batting .274 with 17 hits, 6 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases.
And, he actually had a good start for the Tigers these last 2 days. They were playing the Rangers. Both games ended up in W's. The number 2 prospect in the game, according to MLB.com, he went 2 for his first 5. He actually got his first 2 hits his first game. He also had 4 walks in the 2 games combined, 2 each. And I thought that was impressive because a lot of young guys come up and they're aggressive. They're going after every single pitch. And for him to, really work 4 walks in 2 games is quite impressive in my eye for such a young player.
Yeah, so he seems to be very disciplined at the plate. You said, he's not over anxious trying to just hack away. It seems like he's patient and he's really waiting for his pitch.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you got a chance to look at some Riley Green comps, but this morning I looked and there was a 2020 Bowman Prospects rookie PSA 10 that was $33. So that it was sold for $33. I'm just saying, but
so once again, are we finding another player where the stonks are only going to go up on him?
stonks up.
Stonks are up.
Yep. And as a Guardians fan, it's scary to have to face Detroit. So many times we've been really good against Detroit, but hey, they're young and they keep getting all these players, and eventually Detroit's got to be good again.
Yeah, which reminds me that Green and teammate Spencer Torkelson are actually available in 2020 and 2021 Bowman products, including draft Sapphire, and Platinum. If you look on the screen here, here's a shot of dacardworld.com. You can see that's where all of that is available. We have the draft Sapphire. We have different various products of Torkelson and green that you can find them in. So definitely go ahead and check those out. It seems like green's only going to get better from here. We can only hope.
Right. And I mean, a lot of these young guys now are starting to come up. You see Green, Adley Rutschman just came up for the Orioles a couple weeks ago, and we're actually going to get to talk about a bunch of rookies here in a couple seconds.
We are.
We got the top 5 rookies. MLB.com released a list of their top 5 rookies for June. And here's the list. We're going to go from 5 down to 1.
Okay.
So starting at number 5, we have Mackenzie Gore of the San Diego Padres. He's actually had kind of a crappy month so far, but
to say the least.
He had one good start and then 2 bad ones, both against the Colorado Rockies. He still has an ERA in the 3s, which is awesome for a rookie, especially playing for a team like San Diego, who's in the hunt. They're actually only, I believe, half a game back of the Dodgers, who, just lost 2 games to the Cleveland Guardians. Just throwing that out there.
Quick flex.
Just quick flex.
Don't even worry about it. Not a big deal.
Yeah, but, I was looking, and there was a 2017 Bowman rookie that was probably his most expensive card. It was a green refractor, so it was a really nice looking card that I saw on 130 count. So that one was cool. But yeah, Mackenzie Gore at number 5.
Which Rockies too, not necessarily a strong team.
They have been so hit or miss. I mean, they do have, I think they're like 30 and 38 or something right now, but they have been such an up and down team. But when they hit well. Like they're scoring double-digit runs. I mean, one of the starts against the Rockies, he actually gave up like 6 earned runs, which is a lot. But yeah, his ERA is actually, for the month of June, is ballooned to 10.22. So, but it shows you how good of a start of the season he had, that he has that ERA right now, but his ERA is still in like the 3.5 region. And so he's still having a good season as long as he doesn't face the Colorado Rockies.
Sure. Yeah, not so great against the Rockies, but he's got, I'm sure, another 1 to 2 starts in the month of June. So we'll see if he can recoup from that and get back and stay on that top 5 there.
Yes. And
so
now,
what we got for number 4?
So number 4, we have Christopher Morel of the Chicago Cubs. He's an outfielder. Just got called up, I believe, last month. And oddly enough, my buddy Kyle, shout out to Kyle, I don't know if he's watching, but Kyle, he was at the game where Christopher Morel hit his first career home run. He had it on video of like the reaction at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs actually reached out to him to use his video.
Really?
In like a montage. So I thought that was cool. But Christopher Morel, he's batting .250 in June. He actually had a 7-game hitting streak going before it got snapped. 3 homers and 10 RBIs in June. Right now, his Bowman Chrome rookie auto went for $182.50 according to 130 count. And, his stock is kind of low. I don't think a lot of people know too much about him yet. But he's a player that the Cubs are really looking forward to possibly being like a cornerstone for their future. So
yeah, and Cubs, another team who, a handful of years ago had a good squad, but obviously couldn't afford everybody, and they kind of all went their separate ways. So it almost seems like, with guys like Contreras, possibly Morel here too, that they're trying to rebuild their young core and kind of get back to where they were a handful of years ago.
Yeah, and you see this happen with some teams where they have some glory years for, 5-6 years or whatever, like the Cubs did. They won it in 2016. Pull my heart out and throw it, losing.
Man, the Guardians just keep coming up in this conversation today.
But yeah, it happens where you get the glory years. You've seen it with the Royals too. The Royals won it one year. They went all out getting trade assets, and then they had some down years, and that's kind of where the Cubs are at right now, where they're in a rebuild. But they signed Seiya Suzuki from overseas, and now they got Morel coming up, and they do have some young players like Wisdom. And who knows what they'll get. I don't think Contreras is going to be a Cub much longer, especially with the trade block, about a month away, I want to say.
Sure.
So who knows what they'll be able to get for Contreras? A big hitting catcher. But obviously, I think Chris Morel is going to be a name that you hear a lot about. Coming in the future years. So
we'll keep an eye out for him. Who's number 3?
So number 3 is a very intriguing prospect, Hunter Green of the Cincinnati Reds. He he actually technically threw a no-hitter this year. He threw it 7 1/3 inning against the Pirates, a no-hit ball before he got taken out due to pitch count. They lost that game. He threw a no-hitter.
I feel like that's the Reds season in a nutshell right there, though.
Yeah, and you know what? They've actually turned it around. Like, they were like 3-19 or something crazy.
Yeah.
They actually turned it around, and they're still in last place, obviously, but they don't have the worst record anymore. So they did turn it around. But Hunter Green, like I said, he technically threw a no-hitter in a loss. He didn't get the L for it though. 20 2/3 innings in June, 13 hits, 9 earned runs, and 29 Ks for the young gun. Another big thing is he's gotten his control down. He only has 4 walks in a few starts this month. He had 14 and 10 in May and April, respectively. So he's really gotten the control down. But Hunter Green is also another guy that he's kind of all over the place with his values. A lot of people, his rookie auto wasn't going for crazy much, but he's obviously another one that's probably going to be a buy stonks.
Buy now.
Yeah.
Buy now and hang on to type
Yeah.
of situation.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know he's the kid too who's just absolutely throwing gas, right? He
Mhm.
just lights out. He's just over 100. Like, it felt like consistently at one point, right?
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of velocity, and you see with young guys, sometimes they do get touched up in a few starts here and there, and I think what hurts him most is he's just not on a very good team right
Sure.
now.
Sure.
But as the Reds, continue to build and develop players, I think his stats will obviously take a hit and get better once the team ultimately gets better.
Yeah, and I know pitchers can be tough sometimes on the card side of things. I've heard that. Obviously, just like we talked about in football, kind of the same way with baseball, where you want the guys who are the big hitters, making the flashy catches, hitting bombs. But pitchers are people too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who we got for number 2 now?
So number 2, love this dude, Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals. He started the season at third base before Adalberto Mondesi got hurt, so they moved him back to shortstop, which is actually his normal position. His values are all over the place.
Mhm.
I've seen a 2020 Bowman Chrome, green refractor out of 99 auto, rookie obviously, PSA 9, sold for $2,500. So
Oh, okay.
big value.
Yeah.
And then I've seen gradeds that are peaking over $100.
Sure.
I've seen raws that are just all over the place between $5 to $100. There is an Upper Deck rookie auto series 2, which I heard someone may or may not have pulled a rookie auto Bobby Witt Jr. last night. I don't know who that person may be.
No
but
clue. Not a clue.
But that one is going for like $375,
Yeah.
$350 to $375 in that region. And after a slow start, he's actually really putting together a good month of June. He's batting .266 in June, which might not seem good, but he was in the 100s for April and May, and he's gotten his average up into the 240s. He also has 5 extra base hits and 8 RBIs. This is a guy that the Royals are just going to build around.
Sure.
I think he is going to be the face of that franchise.
He's going to be your franchise guy.
Yeah, and they got other guys coming up. Like they got a first baseman, actually played for Chula Vista, California in the Little League World Series. Nick Prado. He's MLB estimates him to come up at some point this season, but they got a lot of young guys that are coming up, and that's just how the Royals are. The Royals build up great prospects. I mean, that's really what the cornerstone of their World Series run was. They had Moustakas, they had Hosmer,
Yeah.
they had Lorenzo Cain, they had all these guys come up, and then once you bought high and got the trade assets like Ben Zobrist, Johnny Cueto, all those guys, that's how they ended up getting their World Series. So I mean, I could see the Royals turning it around here, and Bobby Witt being the catalyst of that catapult that gets them to the next level.
And you heard David there talking about Prado, so definitely keep an eye out for him on the eBay scours, and obviously in the Bowman products there might be one to look out for, especially toward the end of the season if
Absolutely.
it comes up, depending on where they are.
Mm.
All right, last but not least, who's number one?
Numero uno.
Oh, I didn't know you were bilingual.
I'm not. I just, it took like 5 years of Spanish in high school, and just you remember certain things, but
Yeah, so numero uno, por favor.
okay,
It's
we
about,
have
it's about the extent of mine.
number 1, Seattle Mariners outfielder Julio Rodriguez, one of the most hyped up prospects coming into the year. Saw his, there was a video that the Mariners put up the day that he got told he made the roster. That was awesome. It was wholesome. It was sweet. He has a 257 average in June, 2 dingers and 7 RBIs. He also, just a note, he has 18 stolen bases on the season, so showing
Wow.
his speed. Values also a little all over the place. You got a 2019 Bowman Chrome, first card, rookie PSA 10, gem mint that sold for $107.50, which I think is low for that kind of card. Then you also had a 2021 Bowman Chrome fuchsia pink refractor that was a rookie 27 out of 199, sold for $25. So I mean,
What?
Yeah, his value.
Come on.
His value is, it's only going to increase though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only thing that worries me is about him playing in Seattle, because sometimes I've seen Seattle prospects that are highly hyped just kind of fall off the charts. I don't think that's going to be the case with him. I like J-Rod. I think he's got a lot of value coming. Another guy that I think if you buy now, your value can only increase over time.
Yeah, and it seems like Seattle's trying to build a little bit. I don't know about around him, but obviously the addition of Winker definitely helped them. I know
Western New York boy.
Western New York boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically Niagara County. For
Yep.
those of you who don't know, that's just north of Buffalo, New York.
Yes.
We're in the North Towns there. So I always claim Jesse Winker as a
Western New
Buffalo,
Yorker.
a Western New Yorker.
Yeah, I mean, he did move to Florida to play ball, but he'll always, if you started here, you're from here, you're Western New York, born and bred. So
That's right, baby. That's a good stamp on that. So Julio Rodriguez, definitely look out for more of his stuff. Now, we get on to game 2 of the Stanley Cup.
it was a close one.
That's kind of why I chuckled at the beginning, because obviously
man.
we want to talk about this and we need to talk about this. But man, was game 2 a one-sided affair.
Funny story. I was watching more of the Bandits game than I did the Avalanche game. And Troy and I were going back and forth via text. And I was texting him how every time there would be a score update during the Bandits game, it would be Avalanche 2-0, Avalanche 3-0. And then Troy and I were texting, and he was like, "Man, it's 4-0 now." And literally, I was about to text him back, and he goes, "Oh no, wait, 5-0."
Yeah, seriously.
Like they were flying, and it was just like, wow. Oh, and Moosey, you're killing me in the comments section. Oh yeah, go Mammoth. Come on, man.
Moosey.
Come on, man. Pain.
Listen, brother. I like you, right? I really do. Don't make me dislike you. Come on. Bandits do equal pain.
Dan Dudzik, yeah, D Duds 3. So Duds, little plug for my guy. He's been covering the Bandits all year. He's got season tickets. He's been writing recaps. He's been great all season. He lives, breathes, and dies Bandits lacrosse. I feel for him. It was definitely tough to watch, and I really got hooked this year. So I can only imagine how much it is for him, because he's lifelong Bandits fan. Like,
He bleeds black and orange.
yes, it was definitely tough to see. But back on the topic,
Real quick, though, for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, because I know it's not necessarily
not the biggest topic.
the biggest topic, but the NLL Game 3 of their championship was this past weekend, pitting the Colorado Mammoth against the Buffalo Bandits. They came back to Buffalo in the, what is it called now? KeyBank Center? I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
They were in Marine Midland Arena. And the Bandits fell 10-8 after winning the first game. They went to Colorado. Colorado won the second game. Colorado came back. So I think that's an interesting note, though. Let's wrap this back around, that if Colorado Mammoth, they take home the NLL championship, Colorado Avalanche putting themselves in a pretty good position to bring home a Stanley Cup. 2 champions in Colorado within the span of weeks.
I know I said Colorado in 6. I'm going Colorado in 5 now.
I thought you were gonna say 4. So you think
it's
Tampa
so
squeaks
tempting.
one out?
It's so tempting. I think Tampa will squeak one out at home. I think honestly it'll be like 3-0, and Tampa will play for their life. They'll win, get it to 3-1. Once it goes back to Colorado, signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, I gotta think that Tampa Bay is gonna squeak one out at home.
Yeah,
I think I would imagine.
I mean, they're just too experienced not to win one game here. But right now, talent is trumping experience by far.
100%. And I think if Tampa is going to win a game, in my opinion, it's going to be next game. They just lost. They got a touchdown put up on them.
Yes.
I think Vasilevsky's going to come back. He's going to be peed off, and they're at home. He's going to have that motivation by the crowd. I think they're going to win game 3, but yeah, I could see them splitting in Tampa, and then they go back to Colorado, and I think Colorado's they're going to end it.
Yeah. That's how I'm looking at it too. I don't think Tampa has the firepower to deal with Colorado anymore, and it's obviously seen in these first couple games where you can tell the speed is just trumping, the Lightning's experience.
Yeah, I mean it's youth kind of, well, youth and a little bit of the veterans on Colorado side, but obviously Tampa's not getting any younger, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
And someone who really impressed me that I think we need to look at, and actually I think we have a clip of I think he had 2 goals the other night, was Nichushkin.
Mm-hmm.
He's another one, very, in my opinion, quietly in the game.
Yeah, he's one of those Avalanche guys that are like silent assassin, where he'll come out of nowhere and then bam, he's just right there in your face and he's putting up stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Father's Day treat if you're a hockey fan.
Here you are
This Saturday night, Stanley Cup final action.
Absolute snipe.
Yeah, just an absolute snipe. I mean, they're looking good. I mean, that defense was just not playing in front of Vasilevsky by any means.
Vasilevsky can only do so much.
But you and I picked a couple players in the game, so why don't we go ahead and give our players of the game?
So
I'll let you start.
So I picked. It was actually quiet in game 2, but my comparison I'm going to do today is Gabriel Landeskog. He's actually the captain of the Avalanche, which I think says a lot. He's played with the Avs his entire career. He had 30 goals, 29 assists in 2021-22 season. He's got 9 goals and 10 assists in the playoffs, so he's had a very good run. He was the second pick in 2011, and I thought this was pretty impressive too. He's a career plus 77, so the plus-minus stat, he's a plus 77 for his career. I found one of his rookies. It was a 2011-2012 Upper Deck, the Cup, Landeskog rookie patch, RPA, out of 99, and it was $475. So
okay.
But honestly, his autos have been all over the place. There was one that was in the hundreds. There were just raws that were like $10. There were gradeds that were over $100. So he's another one of those guys that's kind of all over the place as well, just depending on what kind of card you're looking at.
Yeah, which is amazing because he's another one. He's a leader on that team. He's he's one of the big names. When you think Colorado Avalanche, you're gonna think McKinnon, and next you're probably either gonna think, in my opinion, Landeskog or now Cale Makar.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So who do you have with the Lightning now?
Guy I wanted to talk about, who unfortunately has only played 9 games this playoff. He has been injured, but Braden Point. I know, I think last season coming into this season, I think Braden Point and the Lightning got a deal done, and there was an extension. He'll be here for a little bit longer. I can't remember the specifics of the deal.
Yeah.
But he's been quiet. Obviously, no points last game being a Lightning player. Nobody got anything there. Like I said, it's been tough. He's played 9 games this playoff. But obviously well in the regular season, although I was talking earlier, I was looking up some of his stats, and unfortunately, it seems like besides the shortened season from the pandemic, the last time he played a full 82 games was 17-18, was his sophomore season. So he hasn't had a chance to. I don't know if it's health. I'm assuming it's health reasons because I don't think he's ever a healthy scratch. I mean, the kid is electric on the ice when he is on the ice. I think that's what Tampa's good at, is finding goal scorers.
Yeah, and he has dealt with injuries. Just to go back to your extension talk, it was 8 years, $9.5 million. They announced it last July.
So there you go. He's going to be a Lightning for a while. He's going to be around for a while.
And that's $9.5 million per year. That I just want to point that out. It's not 8 years, $9.5 million. Like, it's $9.5 million per year.
Chump change.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cheap. That's cheap. But speaking of cheap, though, his cards, once again, just dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, if he can get healthy and he can stay on the right track, I mean, he's obviously going to be around for a while. When he's on the ice, he is really, really good, and obviously makes everybody on his line and around him better. And, he can find the back of the net, no problem. But I mean, his young gun, a raw one, $35. Some graded ones I see $100. So I think, and like even his autos, I think are like $30-$40. For whatever reason, the Lightning players, there should be value there, but there's not. So Point might be another one. Buy him up real cheap right now, and then eventually, if he has a stellar season, ship his cards off.
I agree. And you just see it with some of these players for the Lightning, like you were saying. It's just their values are low, but like they are very talented players. Like Vasilevsky, I remember we were all talking in here one time, and it's just like you can get Vasilevsky for cheap, and is he possibly the best goalie in the NHL?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about.
So now I want to move on. Speaking of valuable players and, top tier players, we want to go to this or that. Our boy Meerkat, social media manager, he put this up over the weekend for us. This or that. Would you rather have a Cale Makar or a Nikita Kucherov? Well, he put up the poll. We got the results. He texted them to me this morning. In a landslide, ladies and gentlemen, 74% of the votes between all of our platforms would rather have the Cale Makar.
Yeah, I don't know if I voted in it or not, but I would have picked Makar.
Oh, well, you can't skew the numbers there.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm only one person.
Hey, man, your vote counts.
Yes, our votes count. We've learned. Yes.
Don't be skewing the numbers there. And actually, real quick, I know we are getting toward the end of the show, but if Tyler can show, Cale Makar did have 2 beautiful goals on Saturday night. Literally the 6th and 7th goal. Mm-hmm. The 7th goal was the most impressive. So here we're seeing goal number 6 right just comes down and fires nicely. Vasilevsky had no shot, no chance. And then if you could show, there this one was sick. Tyler even said it himself.
Rantanen, Makar, he scored!
Like,
he's
no room.
Disgusting.
There was like no room, and he found it.
Oh, he found room.
He found a home for it.
He found room. So that is going to end that segment. And then real quick, it's Monday. So we found out what is coming out on Wednesday. We want to get to this week's wax for you real quick. First up, 2021 Panini Contenders Optic Football. Now you'll see on the page, this says, sorry, this isn't available. That's okay. It'll go live and will be available for purchase when it comes out on Wednesday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. 1 pack per box, 6 cards per packs. You're going to look for 2 autographs per box, 2 base cards per box, and then 1 insert and 1 parallel per box. So keep up on that. Look for new inserts, up and coming, optic illusion, and splitting image. Not spinning image, splitting image. Now, obviously, this episode very heavy on baseball, but real quick, take a look at the cards here. Beautiful looking cards. I mean, I was always a fan of Contenders, so the optic just kind of gives it a little more of a shine to it. A little fancier, the optic look. I know there's some acetate cards, so there's some see-through, but,
some
you'll
fancy schmancy stuff.
Fancy schmancy. You'll see some familiar inserts and the way the cards look. Obviously, rookie ticket there of Trey
I
Lance.
love the ticket cards for some reason.
They're-
They just look good.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're some of my favorites, and obviously, I think a lot of those are going to be on card.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back into baseball, though, from the gridiron to the diamond, 2022 Panini Select Baseball coming your way on Wednesday. People love this. 12 packs per box, 5 cards per pack, 2 autographs, 2 memorabilia cards, 3 numbered prism, and 5 inserts per box. Make sure you are looking to collect the whole 300 card base set. Tyler and I were talking about this. People love to rainbow these. And what we mean by rainbow is obviously Select has the different colored inserts.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of collectors, what they like to do is go after each color. But look at that. Beautiful. I want to point that one out there.
The Griffey color wheel.
Not even the color wheel. I mean, the color wheel, beautiful, but that middle with the majestic tag.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. The Phenomenon card looks nice, too, with the purple.
Yeah, and I feel like those majestic tags, very much like the NFL logo tags, like
yep.
those laundry tags. Those are always fun cards. I think those always are beautiful. Next up in hockey, 2020-2021 Upper Deck Clear Cut Hockey. If you haven't done this before, how it is structured is 1 hard signed encapsulated autograph per box. Could be a, regular card. Those ones I've seen acetate ones too. So definitely make sure you're looking out for new rookie memoir autographs. Look for exclusives, high gloss, and 1/1 parallel cards, which are all numbered to 65 or less. Popular canvas signatures, which are legend, active stars, and rookies, numbered to just 25. And then also canvas rookies debut sets are back. They're back, baby.
They're back.
Back
Boom.
and better than ever. Last up for you, last one of the day, 2021-2022 Topps Stadium Club Chrome UEFA Champions League Soccer. Those ones are always the longest.
Yeah.
I'm like so winded after I'm reading those. 1 Chrome autograph per hobby box. Make sure you're looking for Beam Team autographs, 100 card base set, and also find base set image variations, and then collect real-time and glimpses of gold insert.
So, you're going to be meeting a pretty decent baseball player in a few days, huh?
You could say that. To end the show, we want to let you know that on Friday, this is for the local viewers here, Friday night, June 24th, 6 p.m., Reggie Jackson, he will be having an autograph signing at our Dave and Adams retail store. So make sure you are grabbing tickets for that. Going out and seeing Reggie, just like Keith Hernandez was a famed Seinfeld actor. That's famed actor from the Benchwarmers, Reggie Jackson, right there.
The
Put
guy,
some respect on it.
The guy that drills the mailboxes.
Put some respect on it. And we will have a cool opportunity like David was just kind of teasing to there. I'll have the opportunity of talking to Reggie, and hopefully we'll be able to show you that on next week's shows. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So that's all the time we have. Make sure that you continue to like, comment, and please subscribe to the DA Card World accounts on Twitch and YouTube. That's where you can catch the Chase live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9. And then YouTube is where we will put the episodes up in their entirety after we are done.
Exactly. Make sure you're watching.
All right, that's it. All the time we have for today. Remember, it's all about the chase.